This vid's already different in so many ways. I'm at my college dorm, recording on my phone, and I may have the onset of corona. Hey guys, I know I'm late as shit with this one, especially since Queen Bee Arena is already out, but I've been fucked with assignments and exams in college. Like, they're turning my GPA into a glazed donut. So yeah, I've just been really busy lately, and on top of that, this raid is definitely the hardest by far. Even the normal version, harder than CZAC in my opinion. So yeah, the only difference between the versions is Infernog's health, but besides that, it's the exact same pain in the ass. So since there's a lot to go over, I invited some friends to help explain the Showdown with Infernog. See, I knew I skipped the first raid for a reason. He still came back, god damn it. So first, I'm going to give a very basic overview of the raid, and then I'm going to include chats I did with some of my friends to explain certain roles or classes. First off, you need 67,300 gear score to enter Hard Infernog, but man, this does not matter in the slightest. You need to build for defense. After some testing, it was shown that a main component of this raid, Infernog's Eye Curse, is health based.
217 for a 7-2 stack, 326 for a 3 stack, for 435. 5 is 544, so yeah, definitely HP based. Remember, I have no armor. 10 stack is 1000 for me, 189.
So there's no need to build for health or even make health gems. Despite this, you still obviously want to carry your weight in this raid, as Infernog boasts an impressive 69 billion HP. Nice. Anywho, before you even enter the dungeon, be sure to buff up. This will be the one time I actually ask anyone watching these guys to seriously buff up. At the time of this recording, none of us, except for RNG carried assassins, can do the crazy damage we currently do on older bosses, not even as good as in CZAC, which was only a few weeks back. Pop your personal guild buffs, drop stuff like noodles, chicken, crepes, use platinum whetstones or candles, stack with special warrior mage tonics, eat some cookies, mix with tomato soup. Just do whatever you can to stack buffs and deal as much damage as possible in the few windows of opportunity you have. I say that because a serious component of this raid is just staying alive. Like, I'm not even joking. Every single one of Infernog's attacks can kill you faster than having evidence against the Clintons. Once your group is ready, let whoever is baiting go first. This will either be the Knight or Priest. Speaking of which, alright, so with me, our first guest is one of the most important people in the Showdown with Infernog. He is both a professional Knight and a certified RNG dog. It's Avokhii, welcome.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Next up, we have another very important guest. Ladies and gentlemen, the popular Priest and cutest e-girl on NAE East, it's Mawa.
That's not true. One of those is... Actually, both of them are not true, but hello.
No, shut your mouth. Alright, welcome Mawa, my buddy. Okay, with me now is our next guest, here to sort of shed some light on the role of ranged classes. Representing the heavy gunners in the worst way possible, it's Derek. Welcome, you slime.
Hey, that's me.
Hey. Alright, so for Infernog, when we start out in the hallway phase, well, it actually depends, because like sometimes knights will be the ones baiting at the start or not. Like, how does that work out?
So if the priest isn't at risk of wiping from baiting in the hallway, priest will do it. But if there's high risk, then the knight will do it. And for hallway baiting, you definitely want to have guardian wings up and iron defense on. And whenever you can, you want to apply shield toss. The main thing is you don't want to die. And if your priest has healing squares, whenever they throw them down and you start to get low on HP, you want to use your shield on top of it so that you can heal up while you're immune to damage from Infernog. Also, you want to face the boss away from your group.
Yeah, like how would you go about doing that? Because it's like a very small like space that you have.
So there's 2 corners in the back. You should try to stick around those.
Alright. Is there anything else for hallway phase you want to?
No.
So in hallway phase, usually it'll either be priest or knight that'll bait. So in the case that priest who has to bait Infernog in hallway, what do you do?
Pretty much the same thing as knight would do, except like we'd actually have like a better self-sustain than knight, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, because you could heal yourself.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Heal, and like if you're the only priest though, like the only important thing is you also have to drop holy symbol for the party. But you usually get there as a bait before the party starts, so you have stack.
Ah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's another thing. You usually let whoever's baiting go in first a little ahead of time. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the case of 2 priests, how would you split it? Like one does baiting, one does support, or like how do you do it?
It's easier for like with a party with 2 priests, just because like you can, well, you have that other priest just in case you do screw up on baiting to heal like the curse from Infernog.
Okay.
But in case of 1 priest, like 1 priest is enough. Like if you do a decent job at baiting, which like it's not that hard. Like once you get used to his animations.
Yeah. Okay. So as you're baiting, how would a priest do damage to Infernog?
Like, are we talking hallway phase only so far?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. It could be hallway phase or just in general if it's similar. If it's different, yeah.
Well, I guess hallway phase is a little different. Like you generally, like what I do is that I heal myself and cast purifying so the debuffs on the boss, and also hope like my aerials proc because I can't attack that much, and pretty much that. Like just keep purifying up while you're dodging the swipes and fireballs, and usually hallway phase is over a minute.
Hallway phase, we just run on our mounts, go straight up to Infernog. What do you people do?
Heavy gunners specifically, it's very easy. 1, you keep a booby trap on the boss at all times, and 2, you blow your load every minute. Like that's literally.
Why must you do this? Why must you do this?
And you try to sync your load with the holy symbol. Like you wait for the holy symbol and then do the Marigons and rooted, and then you do your thing.
So you basically bust a holy nut.
Yes, that's exactly what I do.
This is, I'm almost 21, what the fuck? At the start, get on your mount and make your way either slightly left or right of the middle because Tristan Slow-Ass will block you if you keep going straight. This is because, as a community, it is commonly agreed upon to skip the ads at the start, but be warned, they will immediately fire these waves that deal a heavy amount of damage, so avoid them at all costs by staying near the ads that aren't firing first, usually the right ones. For whoever's not baiting, stay around the very edge of the staircase to both avoid getting hit by Infernog's attacks if the aggro goes away, and to not get the aggro by getting too close. The reason someone is baiting Infernog is so that he looks away from the group and not increase the stack count of his curse, which can only be purified by Tristan, however, he's preoccupied with the ad all the way in the back. It'll expire on its own, but until then, keep yourself alive and do your rotations, making sure to use stuff like Rooted Strength Lap and Tears to take advantage of this phase's relatively static nature. At 90% of its health remaining, Infernog will escape up the bridge and lead us to what I think is honestly the worst part of this whole raid if you're in my position. Phase 2 is comprised of 3 platforms, 2 long side platforms, and a wide central platform. More often than not, the Knight, Priest, and some melee assistants will be here, while ranged couch potatoes and everyone else will be on the sides. Alright, so after the group gets down to 90% and he flies up, where does the Knight usually go? Like toward in the middle for with Tristan?
Yep, the Knight is usually in middle platform because you want to keep the Priest alive, and sometimes there's opportunities where you can shield them if they do get stunned, but you always want to focus the stun ads first and try to use your Warhorn with HS whenever possible.
Like just use off cooldown?
Yep.
Okay. So like, that would be in the instance that the Priest would be doing. Would at any point the Knight be doing baiting, or at that point would they expect the Priest to do it at that point?
If the Priest dies and they have to run back, you can take over.
Okay, so while they're running back, you be the substitute.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but besides that, how would you do damage during that phase?
If you do run Pika, it's mainly about just playing around your Pika Lightbringer. Other than that, you're going to be getting hit by a lot of accuracy debuffs from all the laser heads. So your main goal is just to stay alive and dodge those and just keep poking.
Imagine having Pika. Yeah, but remember guys, this is a certified RNG dog. How long did it take you to get the plus 15 gauntlets?
I think 4 weeks or 3? I don't even remember.
You kind of disgust me.
Pretty much grab a crystal, like keep an eye on the debuff that make sure that it doesn't run out.
Yeah, it's like, what is it, 30 seconds for each crystal or something?
30 seconds for each crystal. I generally like start looking for a crystal around 10 seconds. I wouldn't panic if I can't, like if I'm not next to a crystal at 10 seconds, but like that's when I start looking that way. I have that leeway of just in case he doesn't attack, breath towards crystal. that I can't grab at at that time.
Okay.
And basically, I would be concerned more about I wouldn't be concerned about damage. It's the same thing as bleeding hallway basically. Keeping my debuff up and pretty much healing whoever's on middle with me.
All right. So after hallway phase, we run up the bridge, and now we are onto the second phase with the 3 platforms. Where do you guys usually stand, on left or right?
You can do either.
Oh really? Is there like a preferred place or no?
Right is easier because you have less lasers to dodge, but left is doable too. It really doesn't matter.
So do you just switch if you ever need to, or do you just stand in one place the entire time?
So with that phase, so when you throw your booby trap, there's a chance that it'll just fall straight off the platform. So you have to stay like 3 to 4 to 5 tiles away from Infernog, so that when you throw the booby trap, it lands in front of him and then it goes off. And then you only move from that position when you're dodging a laser or dodging his breath or whatever. And you basically do the same blow your load thing as phase 1, except this time you don't have to wait for a hallway symbol. You just do it every minute.
Oh, okay. So because while you're just stationary there, what's the usual rotation for heavy gunners, or the intended rotation, if you're not interrupted?
The intended rotation is you start booby trap, and then you keep focus fire on the boss, and then when Luma and Rooted are off cooldown, you pop both of them, and then you use demo cannon, and that's basically it.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, I mean, you keep Firebomber up on the boss too. You basically just keep your dots up and then burst every minute.
As the fight proceeds, Crimson Balrogs will spawn and have a chance to target Tristan, who slowly made its way to the central platform for this phase. The way to denote which ones will send the stun is by checking your minimap and looking for red skulls. Only those will send stuns. The others will shoot fireballs that, albeit slow, will decrease their accuracy by 25% upon hit, stacking up to 3 times. The same thing applies to the annoying lasers fired by some Infernal soldiers that spawn alongside. Not only does it do a good chunk of damage, but it will also decrease accuracy. Man, let me tell you, they really like aiming towards the middle. As a result, for you Gestapos who check party damage, the order would basically be the bottom would be the bait/priest, the next group would be just whoever's in the middle in the central platform for phase 2, and then the rest would be kind of a mix until the top DPS, which would be Mark or some shit. Do whatever you can to dodge all that shit. It's okay if your perfect rotation gets screwed up, it's to be expected. Just don't get 3 stacks and have to wait on the bridge for it to expire because your attacks are hitting less than Stevie Wonder at a dart throwing competition. Now then, a few things to note. Infernog has 2 fire breaths. One is denoted by this quicker animation and will fire a relatively thin breath of fire. The other one has a slight more prep to it and the addition of his mouth glowing prior to firing. This is the one that spreads across an entire platform, so run to the closest area immediately. If you're not being fired upon, then take advantage and pop another Rooted to burst him down quickly. Another thing he does on occasion is send out those annoying red puddles that do some serious damage over time. What a throwback to such an insignificant raid. Besides that, just do as much damage as possible while dodging all attacks and jumping on those Balrogs immediately. These guys need to be dealt with as a group, because they send out stuns to players as well, so don't lone wolf that shit. 70%, so around 489 I think it is. You want to make your way to the bridge and get on your mount to keep moving through the transition stun Infernog does and land safely on a platform for phase 3. The central platform is now wherever Tristan is, aka the left platform. This phase is much more stationary than before, but don't let your guard down. Shortly after landing, Infernog's first move is usually a wide breath, so make sure the bait has his lock on. So once we get him down to 70%, he'll burst and just bring us down to the second, well, floor kind of, which is basically just like hitting a training dummy. Would it just be the same process as before?
Yeah, but one note about the phase changes is your shield will block the first tick of damage. So if you can group up, do it, but it's always better to jump off if you can.
Yeah, that's the, like, as before the phase, we just have to like go down to the bridge to try and avoid it. Like, how would you block that in case?
If someone's too far from the bridge, then you can throw down a shield and it'll block the first tick of damage, and they should survive.
Oh, okay, that'll work. All right. So, what additional notes would we have for the next phase?
It's basically the same as the second phase, except you're at higher risk of getting hit by the wide breath. So you want to be ready with your shields, and you want to call it out if you and whoever else is on the platform probably won't make it to run off in time.
Well, I guess position-wise, you stand different position. Phase 3, you stand like around 11 o'clock, like 10 or 11 o'clock. That's where the general area you want to stand. And just,
What, like on the bridge?
yeah, on the bridge, and just either dodge up or down to attack. But both Phase 2 and 3 have pretty much the same like mechanics in terms of baiting. Grab a crystal, and I typically stay around like the 11 o'clock bridge, the south part of like where it joins the platform. I generally stay around that area so I could still get cleansed by Tristan. Because when you stay too far, like when you stand actually in the middle of the bridge, Tristan won't be able to reach you and won't be able to purify you. So you'd gain stacks, but
Yeah, so like at what point would you want to like go to Tristan?
Like I generally go every breath that he does. I dodge like towards south, downwards.
The mini breath or the wide breath?
Both, but it's harder to dodge south with the wide breath. Also, a breath can proc 2 times in a row. So if I dodge down a mini breath and the wide breath procs, I like screw up that platform.
That's what
So that rarely happens, but if it does happen, it kind of sucks. But I usually dodge down. Like my general gameplay is to dodge down just so I could get cleansed. And if it doesn't throw a fireball, I generally stay around that area, like maybe like between 9 and 10 o'clock area where the bridge joins the platform to get cleansed by Tristan.
Third phase, 3 platforms. Where do you guys usually stand, right or top maybe?
It doesn't matter. You can do either.
Oh, just either platform.
Yeah.
After that, just do as you did in phase 2, but without having to worry about the Inferno lasers, just the stun rods. At 40%, or I think it's 279, you need to be topped off on your health and hope to God you get protected by a Soulbinder's Cube, or just have enough defense to resist this next transition stun, which is capable of wiping a poorly prepared group. Then again, this is the final stage, so don't give up yet. So now we're at 40%, last phase. Got a lot of responsibilities in this one. Let's give the rundown of that.
Alright, so the most important thing is never use Divine Retribution. You need your shield skills up.
Oh, okay, like, because I'm a Room Blade, I'm a dumbass, so explain for the general audience, what is Divine Retribution for me?
So you get increased phys attack by 25% for 20 seconds, but you can't use any shield skills.
Oh, just not at all?
Yep.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, you want to avoid using that and just prioritize protecting from the burst.
Yep.
Okay.
So after every 2 attacks, Infernog's gonna shout, and you want to have your shield ready. And you're gonna have 2 shields. They should be level 10. When they're both on cooldown, you want to pop Iron Defense. You want to pop Shield Wall, and then you want to put up Guardian Wings to keep your party alive.
And in between like each of those blocking phases, how would you just do damage? Just a normal cycle, normal rotations always?
Yeah, so first of all, you always want to keep the shield toss debuff on, unless you're running cycle and shield, which is different. Other than that, you want to play around Pika again, and generally you can switch off Iron Defense for when you're actually attacking, but you want to keep it on because Guardian Wings will eat up a lot of your spirit if you don't.
Now for the final phase, like, what do you have for anything specific in there?
Same thing. Like you have a lot more crystals, so you can waste more crystals. Like you can throw at like 20 seconds, and I think you'll be fine. But it's easy to lose track of the crystal, of like your aggro, just because there's a lot of things going on. Like you're also paying attention about like after he shouts debuff, and as a priest I cast Shield of Archon just so I don't get I take less damage from the shout with that, so I don't have to spend my I spend less time healing, and if I do have the debuff I can spend more time running away from like towards like 11 or 1 or whatever, wherever we're supposed to put it.
Same thing as the last phase. You just stand in the ideal spot and burst every minute. And of course, this time you do get a holy symbol, so time your burst with the holy symbol. And then if you're phasing like fast enough where you think you're going to get another holy symbol at the beginning of the next phase, save your burst. Otherwise, just keep doing the 1 minute burst.
Okay. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Wow, it's really simple actually.
Yeah, small brain class, easy.
And yet you guys still like do some dummy ass damage.
Yeah, buff HG, please.
I'm gonna kill you. At the start, everyone should group up on the right and get shielded by the Knight when Infernog immediately uses his stun and send from the original raid. After the burst, 2 players will be given a bomb debuff that after 5 seconds leaves a dangerous blue AoE. I am personally asking everyone, experienced or not, whenever that burst happens, check your debuffs. You get it? You run. The first 3 bursts should be preferably placed along the inside of the right side of the blue ring, not outside. The way these bombs should be placed by both players, by the way, is by stacking on top of each other. Don't be scared. Once the blue appears, run out of there with your mount. The AoE only deploys a second after. After that, the next 2 are kind of weird, but it works. The 4th one just goes straight down from the group, right at the corner of the entire platform. And the 5th one should be directly next to it, letting it overlap. Just don't screw it up and put it where players spawn, because if that happens, that's grounds for Gaddafi Part 2. From there, you can just either place them on the left side, or if timed right, the circles on the right should begin to fade just in time, allowing the group to consistently cycle the areas. Focusing again on Infernog himself, an important thing to note is that his attack pattern is the most predictable of any boss to date in this final phase. 2 of his normal attacks, then his stun and send. Knights, make sure to count the attacks to prep your shields and whatnot. Everyone else, brace for impact and pray you don't get a bomb. After a bit below 20%, Infernog will fly to either 4 o'clock or 8 o'clock and stay there for the remainder of the raid. Don't drop your guard just because he doesn't move after this though. If you fuck up the placement of the bombs, this Demon Chief can make your party look like the 49ers. The cycle's the same and so is the challenge, so press on and finish this second part of the pain in the ass known as Infernog. You will most likely get blessed with your class's level 70 legendary weapon either as your first and only copy, because we've been blessed with an assload of rerollers, or for fodder to start the hype train up again with a one-way trip to disappointment. So in terms of like pots, like what do you use personally?
Medkit. But no, seriously. So like, you can time medkit. So medkit activates after you drop it. Like there's a few second delay. So if you get like in the phase shifts, if you drop it right, you can survive the phase shift without like a shield or soulbinder thing.
Oh, just straight up medkit through it?
Yeah, because Infernog will roar and it'll take away like half your health, and then medkit will heal that health, and then the next part of the war will happen, but you won't die because you're back at full health.
Well, shit.
But as far as pots in general goes, it really doesn't matter. I use the premium pots for convenience. You can use elixirs, you can use whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Surviving as heavy gunner isn't hard because we're far enough away that we don't get hit.
Oh, okay. Damn, that's pretty much it. Wow, that's actually... I'm still kind of baffled at how simple it is, and how the fuck you people do that much damage?
The dot is like most of our damage, honestly.
Really?
It's just keeping up the dot and bursting every minute.
You don't really have to like micromanage much stuff except that?
Yeah, it's just balancing those few things. It's really it. It's not a complicated class at all.
Well, shit, that's quite interesting. Now I know what to reroll when the next update comes. Thanks, Derek.
Yep, anytime.
Is there any other additional notes besides that for Knights at this point? Anything you think of?
It's a lot of little tricks I don't remember.
This is like more instinct for you at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. Like, overall, it seems like the Knight has like a lot of protection in their role. So like, what pots would you use? Like, I mean, obviously you have the Priest, but in case that they're down, what pots do you use?
I mean, I have high flyers and special white.
Just those two?
Yeah. You can use Alexis if you want. If you end up baiting because the Priest died, you might need to use them.
Okay.
So after the phase change from 3 to 4, your team's probably going to be like really split. So I like to have shield wall up because it's hard to like shield them all. But shield wall has like a bigger radius and it's easier to get it onto your whole team so they don't die in case he decides to shout right away before everyone's in position.
So yeah, that would be pretty much it for Knights as far as Infernog.
Yep.
Alright, well you heard it here first, folks. Thanks for the tips, my guy.
No problem.
So even as a priest, despite like being able to heal yourself, do you even use any pots just in case?
I do have auto pots on. Like I usually like fruit tarts, and I generally use my like VIP like the premium potions.
Oh, the special whites.
Yeah, those ones are usually enough to keep me alive. Like assuming I have all my defensive buff as well. So if I'm baiting, I'd opt to using foxtail compounds over candles, just because my damage is not too much, and my survivability is probably doing more for the entire party than me trying to do a little bit of damage.
Okay, so like in general during the raid, what would the rotation for Priest be?
There's not, well, for me anyway. I save my big skills for the ads that spawn, like for like phase 2. Like I save my big hitting skills that's on the mobs that spawn at the south, just because they can stun me right away. And same thing with phase 3, if a stun ad spawns at left side. But generally I keep Purify on Infernog, and I try to leave my or if I have Relic on me, I try to leave Relic and Sanctuary like around like Infernog, so it procs aerials. Like basically any hit can proc aerials, and on the middle platform, I think you've been there.
Yeah, I've been there, Mawa.
Yeah, it's really like you can't dodge all the lasers, so you get your accuracy goes down to like 0 basically. So I try to put down like multi-hitting skills, damage over time, just to keep the debuff going, and purifying as much as I can, keeping it well. Yeah.
Oh, so basically just like the heavy attacks for the ads, and then for Infernog just like damage over time, more consistent damage.
Yeah, but the ads are not always up, so you can hit one or like some of your big hitting skills on Infernog.
Because what exactly are the big hitting skills? Because I'm only a room blade, I don't know much. I'm a dumbass.
Divine Cross and Heaven's Wrath. If you bring those skills, but if you go full right, which is like the full support tree, there's not really much skills. Basically, if you go full right, you can keep purifying and then divine wave on. If you like on the south platform, right? If you go to the northern edge of the south platform, basically right in the middle of that little circle, if you cast Greater Healing, you'll pretty much hit almost everyone that's on the edge of the inner edge of the circle. So that's a neat little trick. And I think every phase change, I'll try to use Greater Healing, just because like you do get stunned like on the second wave of the shout, so you won't be like everyone won't be able to heal themselves, and that heal over time just helps a little bit and saves some people's lives. And then I'll do the same for the third phase. Like Soulbinder usually casts their cube, and then we group up in the middle of in phase 3, and I cast Greater Healing along with that Soulbinder cube. That usually should be enough to keep everyone alive.
Okay. You got any other tips for Priest in specific, as far as Infernog?
Not really. I'm like I would say I'm still kind of like experimenting to see, like,
because it does seem like overall it's just like a very simple rule: just keep everybody alive and just keep Infernog away from everybody.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the role of Priest or whoever is baiting, which I think Priest is like the best role, best class for that, just because of our decent self-sustain.
Oh yeah, definitely.
On the last phase too, like when he starts shouting, right? Like every 2 attacks or so. So before I go in, I bring Max Shield of Archon, and I try to cast that before the shout. Helps you by taking less damage. Just gives you more time to do like other mechanics.
Mechanics.
Yeah, it is like another thing to keep an eye on too, along with like the crystal debuff, and like if you do get like the blue circle or the red circle. Blue circle, yeah.
Yeah, you think? Wait, like what are you talking about? The bomb debuff or like?
Yeah, the bomb debuff has a red circle around you, and then it drops a blue circle.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the damn puddle.
Oh yeah, the dot puddle, like the one that Infernog throws at you.
Yeah.
I think that's one of his like random attacks, along with a wide breath, and swipe if you're close enough.
Oh, he can swipe if you're close enough? Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, like if you're like 1 pixel away from me, he'll swipe. And same thing as the old Infernog, the damage over time on the second swipe.
Yeah.
And it can crit, from what I remember.
Oh, right.
Yeah, pretty intimidating at first, but once you get used to it, you'll start like picking up stuff, and then you can start experimenting. Like, I don't think I'm the best out there in terms of baiting, but I think I do a decent job.
Oh no, you definitely do it. Because I've been with you before. Shut up.
Yeah.
Nah. Wait, what do you mean? You're the best NAE East girl. What do you mean?
Also not true.
Hey, thank you so much, Mawa. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you for watching this guide, despite it being so late. I just hope that it can help to a decent degree, because most people, especially pugs, still struggle with this raid. And I mean, even with experience, if the cards aren't in your favor, you're gonna get your ass eaten out like an antelope. Listen, you will still have trouble with this even after watching this guide. Like, if you're just starting out, especially like if you don't have your wep, I recommend just doing the normal version twice in order to get the fragments for your wep, and then maybe try hard. If you're still not at it, just practice, practice, practice. It'll come naturally. It'll be a struggle, but eventually it'll pay off. And hey, honestly, spare no expense on this raid. It's tough. Like, this is the one time that I will actually say to like buff up. Do what you can, refer to this guide as needed, and eventually you will get results, trust me. I don't have enough time to make a shitpost, so I'm gonna use this extra space to petition Nexon to please give us bug fixes instead of cosmetic capsules, and give us optimization instead of hot time. Honestly, this game should be running on like Windows Vista or some bullshit, but like these memory leaks, they're making my computer slower than when I run stuff like Siege or Battlefield 3, for fuck's sake. Like, this is some Uno reverse card bullshit. Also, I have a Discord server now. Why? That's a great question. That's actually a really good question. It's because really over the amount of time that I've played MS2, I have made a lot of different friends in different guilds and such, and so as I hop from guild to guild, well, not really hop, that sounds so bad. As I moved on from guild to guild, I've slowly like lost kind of the connection with those friends. I haven't really talked to them in a long time, and as we see each other on occasion, they're just like, oh, it's been a while, we miss you, and stuff like that. Like, that's something I personally haven't, something I really haven't, like, experienced, I'd say. No one's really, like, quote-unquote missed me or liked me, stuff like that. So it's really nice and reassuring to hear that. So I decided to just make a Discord server for us, just, like, for friends. It's gonna be, like, a really chill thing. But I decided I don't really have that many friends. So I'm opening this up, and I might regret this, to you guys. Since you watch the videos and you somewhat enjoy it, then I also invite you to swing on by and just hang out, you know? Just have fun. There's no need for like, there's no place for like guild differences or regional differences. We're all just here, we play the same game, and we're all just here to have fun. So I invite you all to come by to the Discord server and just have a good time.